Consumer spending is on the rise again, and economists, retailers, and maybe even your wallet are buzzing with the news. After years of navigating economic uncertainties, pandemics, inflation spikes, and supply chain bottlenecks, it seems like shoppers are back in action. But what's driving this surge? And what does it mean for the economy, businesses, and everyday consumers? Let's dive in. First off, let's talk numbers. Consumer spending accounts for about 70% of the US economy. That's right. Our love for shopping basically runs the country. So, when people start loosening their purse strings, it's not just the malls or e-commerce sites celebrating, it's the entire economy. Picture this. Every time you buy a latte somewhere, a GDP growth statistic smiles. But what's causing this newfound confidence? For one, the job market has remained surprisingly resilient. Despite the doomsday headlines we've seen in recent years, unemployment rates have stayed relatively low, giving people the confidence to spend. It's like when you realize you still have a few chips left at the end of a poker game. You start playing a little more boldly. Wages have also been ticking upward. While inflation cooled off somewhat, paychecks started stretching just a little further. Sure, things aren't cheap, but at least people aren't holding back as much on buying essentials or indulging in a few luxuries. It's as if consumers collectively decided, hey, life's short, let's splurge on the guac. Another key factor? Savings. During the pandemic, many people hoarded cash like squirrels, storing nuts for winter. Now, those savings are being spent, particularly on experiences like travel and dining out. Turns out, after years of being stuck at home, people are less interested in buying the latest smart toaster and more interested in eating toast at a cafe inn. The rise of buy now, pay later services has also added fuel to the fire. These services are like the enablers of your retail therapy sessions. Can't afford it now? Don't worry. Future you will figure it out. Future you, by the way, might not be thrilled about this arrangement. Another concern is whether this spending is sustainable. Sure, people are splurging now, but what happens when the savings from those pandemic nest eggs run dry? Economists are debating whether this resurgence is a long-term trend or just a temporary spike. If it's the latter, businesses might need to brace for a slowdown once this wave passes. On the flip side, there's an undeniable optimism in the air. Consumer confidence indexes are ticking upward, and industries like travel, tech, and retail are thriving. Even sectors that were hit hard during the pandemic, like hospitality, are seeing a resurgence. It's as if consumers collectively decided, let's make up for lost time and spend like there's no tomorrow. Interestingly, the demographics driving this surge are also shifting. Millennials and Gen Z are playing a big role with their love for experiences, sustainability, and all things digital. They're spending on unique vacations, trendy gadgets, and avocado toast, or whatever TikTok tells them is cool this week. Meanwhile, older generations are also stepping up, particularly as baby boomers continue to hold significant purchasing power. But let's get real for a second. While the resurgence of consumer spending is good news overall, it's not universal. There are still many families feeling the pinch of rising housing costs, student loans, and healthcare expenses. So, while some people are booking vacations to Hawaii, others are just trying to stretch their grocery budgets. It's a tale of two wallets. So, what does all this mean for the average consumer? Well, if you've been waiting for that perfect moment to make a big purchase, this might be it. Retailers are likely to keep rolling out deals to capture your attention, and competition is fierce. At the same time, it's a good idea to keep an eye on your budget. Remember, just because the economy is spending doesn't mean you need to buy everything in sight. No one needs a sixth air fryer. Probably. In conclusion, the resurgence of consumer spending is a fascinating phenomenon that reflects the resilience and optimism of people despite challenging times. It's a reminder that economies don't just run on numbers. They run on confidence, hope, and yes, a little bit of impulsive shopping. Outro. That's a wrap for today's deep dive into the resurgence of consumer spending. Whether you're splurging on the latest gadget or saving for a dream vacation, remember, your spending choices shape more than just your wallet. They shape the economy too. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, leave a comment below with your favourite recent splurge. Let's compare notes, because if we're going to spend, we might as well do it stylishly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.